It's one question to prioritize in which arena you're going to really, where you're going to try to use your power, right?
Yeah, concentrate your resources.
Concentrate resources, thank you. However, they're not in Ukraine with full power. So, I mean, you could be like, okay, we're going to do a little bit in Ukraine and we're still going to concentrate on Southeast Asia. That's also a possible scenario.
Well, one thing you want to remember is that the United States, and this is true of the Europeans as well, foolishly, ran down their industrial bases during the unipolar moment, after the Cold War, so that the Europeans and the Americans don't have the industrial capacity to build huge numbers of artillery tubes and artillery shells. So when you look at the war between Ukraine and Russia, one of the principal reasons that the Ukrainians are losing that war and are going to lose it is because they have not had, and now do not have, and will not have enough artillery. The Ukrainians, of course, don't have the capability to build much artillery. They were counting on us in the West to give them the artillery, but we do not have the ability to produce that artillery.
The entire West doesn't have the ability to provide enough artillery to the Ukrainians. That seems odd.
It may seem odd, but it's a fact of life. And the fact is that now that we're providing all sorts of weaponry to the Israelis, that means we have less weaponry to give to the Ukrainians. And by the way, we are shortchanging the Taiwanese. The United States is committed to containing China, and part of that containment strategy is working with Taiwan to buttress Taiwan's defenses. But because so much of the military weaponry that we produce is going to Israel and going to Ukraine, we are shortchanging what we're doing in Taiwan. And this gets back to the earlier discussion we were having about prioritizing. This is why I agreed with you that it's imperative for the United States to prioritize. And if that's true, what we should do is we should try to use diplomacy to shut down the Ukraine war. And we should put huge pressure on the Israelis to end their wars in the Middle East so we can pivot to the most important area of the world, which is East Asia. But we're doing exactly the opposite.
Mm-hmm. And you're also never a consultant to the blob, as I understand, but people in other parts of the world do like to speak with you. So you met with the Indonesian president. You were invited to the, what was it called? The Middle East Council on Foreign Affairs in Doha. You were just now in London. So you're quite popular as a political science professor all around the